Okay, welcome to another video in the series What Makes a Soundtrack. In this one I'll be taking a look at the soundtrack of Angel Beats. I'll be playing a short clip of the soundtrack before talking about it so you know which one I'm talking about. I advise you to hear all of the soundtracks, however I will be leaving timestamps in the description if you only want to hear the analysis of one specific soundtrack. I purposefully left out My Beat, Your Soul and Brave songs since I generally steer clear of openings and endings. However, if you liked the video and want me to cover those, let me know in the comments. Disclaimer, this video will contain spoilers for the anime. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now the first soundtrack I'll be taking a look at is the soundtrack Alchemy. This soundtrack is played for the first time during the Girls Dead Monster concert and is sung by Iwasawa. This soundtrack is a very well-known Girls Dead Monster song. From the start of the song, the main theme seems to be wanting to live forever. This connects very well with the title, since alchemy is often used to obtain eternal life in one form or another. The beginning of the song starts off with a lot of focus on questioning different aspects of life, with questions like, where can I find my dreams? Iwasawa seems to be singing about and neglecting her own past. This is heavily shown with the sentence, looking back on the path I've walked, I've had enough of only having the things I hate. The things I've experienced brighten the path that I wanted to live. This seems to be her neglecting what her past has taught her. However, later in the song she sings a verse that is very similar to the one that I just mentioned, but with a slight difference. She sings, not looking back on the path I walked, even if it's only the things I hate, I will move forward. The things that I've experienced brighten the existence that I'll become. Compared to the first sentence, this sentence is more of a statement, telling herself and others that even if her past has been bad, she'll still move forward, while the first sentence seems to be her getting stuck in her past and being unable to move forward. The next soundtrack I'm going to be taking a look at is the soundtrack My Song. This is the song Iwasawa plays as the last song before she finds peace and disappears. This song is Iwasawa fulfilling everything she wanted to do. When she was little and in a rough place, a band called Sad Machine encouraged her and gave her hope. The exact goal Iwasawa had with this song was to encourage and help other people who are having a bad time. In the chorus of the song, Iwasawa sings the following lines. You who is crying, you who's alone, you're the one who's right, you're the one who's truly human. Then following up with the lines, the tears you shed leave a message. It is so beautiful. When Iwasawa was little, she had a very rough time as her parents often fought and people talked about her behind her back. However, she chose to hide her feelings and avoid crying for the most part. The message she's trying to relay with this song is that it's okay to cry, even though she didn't, because crying is another thing that makes us truly human. The next soundtrack I'll be taking a look at is the soundtrack Thousand Enemies. This soundtrack is Yui's first performance as the lead singer of Girls Dead Monster. The song itself was composed by Iwasawa before she disappeared. The funny thing about this soundtrack is that it can be interpreted in a number of different ways. The different lines in the song can be connected to almost every major person in Angel Beats, and it would make sense. A lot of the song even makes sense if it were to talk about Tachibana Kanade, or her alias, Angel. For example, the first couple of lines of the song fits perfectly with Kanade's character. It goes as follows. There's something I've come to realize. You're just pretending to be like that and desperately fighting. These sentences also fit well with a lot of other characters, including Yuri, the leader. Another example of something in the song that fits perfectly with Kanade are the lines, a finely shaped heart. If you stop to notice it, everyone has one. I don't think this song is written specifically about Kanade, but since so many sentences fit perfectly with her as a character, it just goes to show how little of a difference there is between Kanade and the other students of the Shinda Sekai Sensen. In the last part of the song there are a couple of sentences which goes as follows. When we get there, I'll listen to all of your gathered emotions. I have those feelings too. I'll tell you about them too. Other than the fact that these lines are absolutely beautiful, there's a single thing that stands out to me. We have to remember Iwasawa was the first of the bunch to disappear by achieving her goal, and this song was composed by Iwasawa before she disappeared. If you think about the lines, the sentence "when we get there" could be referring to a lot of different things, but it tells me that Iwasawa knew that at one point herself and all of her friends would be moving on. And in my opinion, this could be what she meant by "when we get there." The final soundtrack I'm taking a look at is the soundtrack My Most Precious Treasure. This is the soundtrack that is used for Yu's disappearance, as well as the ending of Angel Beats when the characters fade away one by one. This soundtrack is a perfect fit for any type of goodbye between friends. The soundtrack starts off with a sentence, "Whenever we met, all we did was argue, but even those times are good memories." These sentences just help to further prove my point that this is a perfect way to say goodbye. The soundtrack also perfectly describes Angel Beats as a series, which is why it's perfect for the ending of the show. For example, with the sentences, "You are the one who taught me, and I'm not afraid anymore, that no matter what inconvenience comes my way, I can attain happiness." This explains the plot of Angel Beats very well. The fact that no matter what obstacle stands in your way, in the end you will achieve happiness and move on. In my opinion, every bit of this soundtrack is beautiful, but one of the most beautiful and fitting parts of the song are the sentences which goes as follows. "I'll no longer regret the fact that I was born. Like the end of a festival, I feel lonely, but it's time to get going." Which is the perfect way to describe how it is when a character in Angel Beats moves on and finds peace. Anyway, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed, you can check out my other videos of what makes a soundtrack, my top 10 soundtracks of all time, even though I admit the top 10 is very low quality with audio and resolution. Anyway, leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you're feeling out to, and I'll see you all in the next video.